All right, welcome home, Bitcoin Truth Seekers. It is Wednesday, November 6th, 2019. It's 3:05 p.m. here in Arizona. Show's a little late today. Sorry about that. Well, let's dig into what's going on. All right, starting as always with the S&P 500. We are on a green candle today, and I just thought I'd put together the S&P 500 here, along with Bitcoin underneath it. So if we go all the way back to November of last year, and circle where we kind of had a little dojis here, turnarounds on the, or I should say turndowns on the S&P 500. If you look here with Bitcoin, was there really an effect or not on Bitcoin? So we see these two dojis here, which were kind of turndowns for the S&P 500. Bitcoin seemed to follow. You look here around the beginning of May. Looks like Bitcoin went the other way, went up. Two small turndowns here, one small, one larger turn down on the S&P 500. And Bitcoin was pumping at the time, but seemed to follow those a bit. Here we had a little, I wouldn't even call it a turnaround, but a slight turn down of the S&P 500, and Bitcoin eventually followed it. And now S&P's been going upwards, and so is Bitcoin, but not exactly following it perfectly. So I'm seeing some small dojis here on the S&P 500 on the daily. Is it going to turn down? Well, will Bitcoin follow it or not? Hard to tell. Just thought I'd throw that out there. It's just something to watch. I like seeing how these two relate to one another. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. They seem to always seem to, at least roughly. So the Russell 2000 index. Definitely we've had an upward channel the last many days, but today we're seeing a pretty good sized red candle. And also we've had these, as I call them, let me grab my brush here, these are indecision dojis here. And now we're seeing a red candle, and the MACD is not looking bad per se. Oh, let me get off that here, one sec. So the MACD is not necessarily looking bad. But the histogram might be beginning to close. We might be beginning to see a close of the MACD on the daily. So anyway, seems like we might see a market turn down just beginning. We shall see. And will it affect Bitcoin? Hard to say. But it may. You can look for yourself. Sorry to be indecisive. Anyhow, Bitcoin is sideways today. 0.1% plus. Ethereum's up 1%, XRP rate 3%. EOS is down 3.5%, Litecoin up 0.6%, and in general we seem to have a mix of red and green on the market. It's a sideways day. Let's look where Tether's been flowing. 1.83 billion into Bitcoin, 993 million into Ethereum, almost broke into a billion. I would have liked to have seen that. I believe it's up from yesterday, I do think. Missouri.io, they give everybody a hard time, but I think they are honest. They're probably the best numbers we're going to get. Market cap of 168 billion and real volume of 262 million. Like I usually say, under 300 million is mediocre, so we're not even mediocre volume today. Low volume, and it's a Wednesday. Why is that? Let me actually refresh this. Let me just make sure I got the latest data here. That seems funny yep, that's true. Yeah, so low volume for the middle of the week. Why is that? All right, Bitcoin dominance. Been going down the last couple days, 68.9%. Total altcoin market cap at 75 billion, going up last couple days. Now, longs versus shorts. Bitfinex, BitMEX, and Binance summarized. 65% long, 34% shorts. Bitfinex and BitMEX are more longs than shorts, and Binance, as always, Mr. Grumpy Pants, has almost 2 times as many shorts. What is going on Binance? If anybody has any idea why Binance has got the grumpy pants on, do comment and let me know. All right. Now, I was thinking about this, a bear flag. So as we see here, a bear flag, you've got your sideways and you've got your up. Then you've got your downward channel that forms. And if that breaks, it's going to be, as you can see, expected to go possibly as high as right here, your lowest point before the pump and downward channel. So if I look at this let's go back to the weekly. Let's just say that we had a bear flag here, and there's a flagpole. Here's a downward channel. So if I look from a low, I'm just going to pick this low. It's always a matter of perspective, what a person thinks is the lowest spot. I'm just picking here because it seems at least, you know, reasonable. This is right as we began to pump. If I take this and I map to the top of the channel here, then I move it over. That would be, if we break this, if this really is a bull flag, that would be 18,400. But all we really can be certain of is we're in a downward channel, if you ask me, on the weekly. But the MACD, now let's look at the MACD. On the weekly, histogram is closing. The MACD, the blue line, is far from the signal, the red line, so definitely have room for, you know, much to change. But basically, we are, we are, got that backwards. The MACD is under the signal, so we are negative MACD on the weekly. But the histogram, as we can see, is closing. So we're moving positive on the weekly. Even though the MACD blue line is below the signal, the red line, and that's usually negative, well, histogram's closing. So the blue line, the MACD, is closing up towards a crossover on the red line, the signal. So that may take a while, but if we're moving in that direction, that's going to create pressure, I would say, on the daily MACD also. Before we peek at that, if I was to say that on the daily we're in a downward channel like this, a bear flag, let's just look. We are still above all of our weekly averages that really matter to me. We're above the 200 moving average. We're above the 21 weekly EMA and the 50 EMA. So we're still above all of those. As usual, we're, you know, wicking right down to the 200 moving average. Well, actually today, so far, we've not actually wicked to it. So that's good. Also, no, we really are having this support here on the daily, or I should say resistance. We're having a hard time getting above this 9,400 range. That seems to be a powerful spot of resistance. Now, just for fun, if I look at this here as a bull flag, if that was the case, and I measured from here, copy that, put it over here, that would be 20K. So if we break out, if it goes that way, I mean, all I can really say for sure is on the daily that it looks like we are in a downward channel, but we are above important moving averages. So I think possibly, and of course not financial advice, this is just my opinion, entertainment purposes only, maybe looking at the weekly and the daily, we're building up towards a nice breakout if this is a bear flag pattern. Once again, as seen here, bear flag. Up, measure from your lowest spot before the pump to the top of the channel, and then move that over, and if you break out, you can expect to, you know, get somewhere close to that. We shall see. All I'm sure of is that we are in a downward channel and we are, you know, above important moving averages. Which way are we going to break? As long as we're above the 200 moving average, I would say on the daily and on the weekly, at least we're still bullish, and breaking out of that channel towards the positive is definitely possible. Bull flag, check it out, or bull, not bull pennant, but bull flag, important indicator. Now, I like looking at this 4-hour chart going back to the beginning of the year. You know, we were in a downward wedge, a continuation pattern, and we went up, bounced around, and now we're coming out of it. And on the 4-hour, looking at that all throughout the year, you know, from the beginning of the year, it does look like we've broken out here. We can see, let me get my little, where's my thing? Sorry. No, don't worry about it. Where's my brush? Brush. Disappeared. There it is. Sorry. If we look at the right here, oh no. Anyway, if we look here, we have definitely broken out of that downward continuation pattern, and that's bullish. So in the 4-hour, looking ever since the beginning of the year, we had this beautiful uptrend. Now we're moving down, and if you think about it, we could say we moved out of this downward continuation pattern, and now really, since we've kind of pumped out of that, as I've mentioned before, there is the argument that now we're in sorry about that, that now possibly we are in a, if we want to take this wick seriously here, maybe we're in a downward channel. If that's the case, we could once again say this could be a bull flag. Just measure from here to here and then put it right about here and see how that matches up. My guess is it's going to match somewhere around the 18.4 and the 20K that I see here. Anyway, if we keep above these important moving averages like the 200, which we're definitely above here in the 4 hour, boom, very, very possible. I'd be really happy to get to the top of this channel again. And that would be where we definitely have previous support and resistance in the chart, and also buy sell volume here on the VPVR. And it looks like hopefully we don't bounce. If we go down any lower, we don't actually hit the bottom of the channel again. Hopefully the previous buy sell volume and support and resistance in the chart would bounce us off the 8K level if we go that way. But looking at moving averages, I see us going up. I would at least like to think. All right, something to notice here on the 2 hour chart. Back around, this was, let's see, October 25th. We had this pump of Bitcoin, and we did get above the 200 moving average. This is a 2 hour chart. So we've been above for a while, but notice this. We have been doing, really nothing but going sideways here. I mean, look at that. Sorry. My computer's kind of lagging a little bit, and that's making this work funny. There we go. Boom. We've just been sideways ever since the 25th if we look at it from the 2 hour perspective here. So, with that said, at least we are above the 200 moving average. So, we shall see. Looking at the... I don't have the MACD on this one. 1 sec. Template. Video. 2 hour. Let's look at the MACD on the 2 hour. It really has been dancing. Quit it. It really has been dancing positive and negative recently, along with Bitcoin being sideways. You can see the MACD has just been crossing positive and negative. Right now it's negative on the 2 hours. So right now I kind of am seeing a bit of an indecisive Bitcoin short term, but definitely looking at the weekly and the daily, we are starting to see some possible positive action. Definitely to get above this 9,400 resistance, which keeps whacking Bitcoin back down. It seems like we're bouncing between the 9,400 resistance up top and the 200 MA on the daily. So we just need to break up or down. We shall see what happens. Big news, but basically in summary, weekly, daily, looking like we're turning positive. Short term, 2 hour, indecisive, but the moving averages are in the right place to hopefully, and if I'm right about the bull flag, maybe we'll see a nice break eventually. I know I'm waiting for it. I imagine you guys are too. Big news. Breaking: crypto mining no longer to be eliminated in China. Today, the government released Industrial Structure Adjustment Guidance Catalog. Crypto mining, which was listed in the draft in April as an industry to be eliminated, is no longer in the list pending elimination. It is nice to live here in America where industries cannot be eliminated by the government. Is that a good thing? We shall see. Bullish for Bitcoin. China scraps plans to ban cryptocurrency mining. This is a link to in the show notes, and basically this goes a little bit deeper into what that might mean. I would say definitely with the tariff, with the trade war and tariffs and such like that, and literally there being currency wars going on, fiat currency wars, and the dollar definitely has been kicking everybody's butt. If you look at possibly China in a way being a leader of the BRIC nations, hey, the more positive they become on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general and blockchain, that really, to me, actually is outright. We're seeing the trade war play out. And, however strong you may think America's hand is in that, well, it's a matter of opinion, really. We'll see how this pans out. But it's interesting watching China, and also we'll see how the other BRIC nations go. How are they going to play in this trade war? Is adopting sound money going to be their way of fighting the dollar? The dollar's dominance? We shall see. And does China even want sound money? Does any nation really want it? Anyway, we shall see. This is more fun to watch than, I don't know, CNN. Hey, do you want to literally have Bitcoin coming at your butt? join Blockchain Education. I've been a member for over 2 years. I have a great time there. I'm Cowboy Craig in the chat. If you join as a full member, there's a great discount code, basically a link, an affiliate link. If you click on that, get a nice discount. Join. I'll see you in the chat room. I'm Cowboy Craig there. You can get into auto trading there, where amazing trades that the analysts find you can get auto entered into, or you can do that manually. You don't have to be auto entered in, but definitely if you want to kick back and listen to a good number of hours of amazing how to trade crypto videos that are absolutely poignant. There's no nonsense. You're not waiting for somebody to get to the point. These are on point. If you want to just download info on how to be an amazing crypto trader and make money in a bull or a bear market, join. I will see you there. There's a little infomercial. If you click the link, you can watch that. As always, like, share, and subscribe, and comment, even if you just say hi. Take care. Sorry this is a little bit late today. I'll see you tomorrow.